which is more dangerous than actually it's worth. But no, Ford don't want you to do that. You know, it's more money you have to spend on these cars. I mean, man. Hey Dirty Mutters. Well, today I'm going to be talking to you about this grey bloody XLT Ford Ranger, about the 5 things I hate about it. So, let's start with the number 1 thing I hate about this car. All right? That was the motor blew up in the middle of Australia, okay, at 20,000 kilometres old, believe it or not. Now, that was a really, really crappy situation to be in. Okay, you'll have to watch the other video about what happened there, but I can't be too angry because the way Ford dealt with this was absolutely unreal. All right? They picked up the car, they took it to 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗟𝗟, they put a brand new engine, turbo, did all the rest of the things to it, and they shipped it back down to me in Toowoomba, along with, I had a hire car the whole time. So I can't be too dirty on Ford about, you know, a little gremlin that made the engine blow up, which if you really want to know what that gremlin is, go and check out my other video about what actually happened on that trip. The second thing I hate about these Ford Rangers, all right, and it's probably any new car, is that auto start stop. Now, I wish I could just press in the settings to turn it off like full time. But no, Ford don't want you to do that. You've got a button on the center console that you've got to press every time you start the car up. And you know what happens? You get to the lights and it shuts off and you go, oh, I forgot again. Press the button. You know, I don't know if you're like me, but it's the little things that just make you twitch and carry on and just annoy the absolute piss out of you. All right? The third thing I hate about this car, and all new cars, okay, is the tech again, and that's that silly thing to keep you in the lines. Right, it senses that, oh, there's a line over there and then there's a gap on the old country road and then it's going, oh no, I'm going over here, and I forget to turn that bastard off as well. I mean, man, like, let there be a setting so you can turn it off permanently. Ford, if you're watching this, please, you know, put it in the back blocks of the tech and we can go in there and find it. But I've scoured and scoured and scoured and I cannot find it. And if I'm missing something, folks, and you can tell I'm quite passionate about this, tell me how to fix it and get rid of it full time. I hate the start-stop button, and I hate that thing that keeps you in the, supposedly in the lines, which is more dangerous than actually it's worth. Anyway, the 4th thing I hate about this car, all right, tech again. Now, in that infotainment system, all right, it's easy to see the buttons, but it's not simple to find stuff. Like, make it logical. Okay, I want to go in there and I want to turn my locks to switch off at such and such a time when I'm driving. Like, guys, maybe because I'm just an older person, I suppose. I'm in my 40s. I mean, I'm not that old, but I've got grown-up kids, I suppose. But maybe I'm not in that generation of tech. Okay, when I was going to school, there was no mobile phones and no computers, so hey, maybe I'm just one of these dinosaurs having a whinge. Put it down below if you think I am, or am I actually onto something? Should these car manufacturers make it more simple to actually go into the infotainment and the settings on your car and change it to how you like it? Okay, there are so many complicated factors and you go into words that don't relate, in my opinion, to what you're actually chasing, okay, but it's in that menu. I mean, does it do your head in just like it does mine? How trick are these Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in standard trim? How do you improve on that? Well, I can tell you, you turn it into a Rubicon. If this interests you guys, jump on the link below and get your entries into the comp today. Now, the 5th thing I hate about this Ranger, okay, but I've fixed it since, is the standard suspension. Now, I don't know what Ford were thinking when they whacked that suspension in this car, but okay, it was dreadful. My old 𝗬𝗢𝗨'𝗟𝗟 Land Cruiser rode better than this thing. It was like it had no travel in the rear suspension at all. So, you know, it's more money you have to spend on these cars when you're wanting to go and travel out west. If you're cruising around town, okay, and you're going to and from work and you're in a big city, you may not find these things a problem like I do, okay? But I live out of town. I've got like a 30, 40 kilometre drive every single day to my workshop. So, and I'm on a rough country road. So you've got potholes, you've got dirt, you've got all sorts of things to get to work for me. And the standard suspension was doing my head in. So obviously I'm a Dobinson's lover. So I put IMS suspension and the proper spring rates that I required in the vehicle, and that fixed it. Right? But why should we have to spend money straight up to make the car user-friendly and comfortable? In my opinion, I think they should come a little bit softer from factory, so it's a bit plusher and driving around. When you want to go and whack more weight on that vehicle, okay, that's when you go and upgrade the suspension and all that sort of jazz, not beforehand. You want it to be able to drive the family around, you know, go on trips and whatever else without, you know, spitting your kids into the top of the roof. Anyway, folks, that's my 2 cents worth about the 5 things I hate about the new next-gen Ford Ranger. Guys, tell me in the comments below if you can relate to anything I've actually said about the Ranger, if you've heard about the motors lunching themselves, or you find the suspension a bit harsh, you know, or maybe, you know, you find the infotainment or the tech painful like I do, or I'm just a whinger. You put down whatever you reckon below. If you guys have liked watching this video, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss our next lot of videos, and I'll catch you on the flip side.